Hello, so I'm gonna make a double video, so this is gonna be, we're gonna have a, kind of like a post thing. Now, I know it looks simple, but the thing in here is that we're gonna be using a mutation, and you see there's no refetch function in here, because one of the problems you have when you are posting information via the API is that the data does not refetch. So we're going to be using tags to refetch the data. So it's automatic refetching. So you do not need to call the refetch function. It's not here. It's just as soon as you update the post, it will query the. It will basically refetch here without you manually having to do it. So that's kind of the idea. Alright, so let's get started then. Let me just clear this whole thing up. Now this video is going to be horrendous, so I'm just making it for myself. It's not really a tutorial, it's just for me to... Because I mean, in today's society with ChatGPT, you can kind of... you can ask it anything, and it can guide you through almost anything, so... Kind of like the, YouTube tutorials are kind of becoming a little bit redundant. I still make them, like, mostly for myself, but... if you get any value out of it, by all means. Alright, so we need to create a... I'm just gonna clone, honestly, I'm just gonna make two. We're just gonna make bar. We probably need a component like this. Okay. And then we'll have to create an API. But first I need to import this component into my app. Where is the component? Oh, it's in here. Okay, so let's do like this. So this is bar. Bar. So now we should not... Okay, and the second thing, we have a server running, which is in here. I'm going to restart it, so we're going to swipe the data. npm run serve. Basically, the idea in here is that we just have an array, which is in here, and this is our starting data, and then we're going to use post to push data into it. As long as the server is running, this variable cache remains, so we can manipulate it like. But I'll be just pushing data and refreshing it as I go along. I already created two GET requests. So one is dummy users, so this is where you get all your users, and then dummy post is when we're gonna simply push. You see, we're pushing the request body, and that's about it. Okay, but I mean, generally the purpose of this tutorial is just to understand the mutation plus the tags, and that's about it. Okay, so now let's create a new API, I suppose. New API, so let's create a new file. YouTube users API.cs. Okay, we probably want to maybe... We're just gonna go probably line by line quicker. Yes, we need all of this. So we're gonna rename this to YouTube users API. I'm gonna keep this fetch base. Okay, that's correct. I can probably copy and paste, like, we don't really need tags. Okay, So we want to remove all of our queries for now. Oh, whoops, we're missing a listing. And then we want to export the default so we can see what's inside of it. We're gonna put it in here and then export it like this. Okay, cool. So let's create just the query first. So it's gonna be, oh my god, the syntax. What's the syntax again? So get all users. Like this. So it's gonna be builder query like this. Query, I think then arguments. We're not gonna have any arguments. Then we return. And then we want to return a URL, which is going to be what is inside of our. We need this one here. Okay, we want it to be with the, yeah. Okay. So now we have bar, and let's import this into import like, oh, it's default, so we can just do this from. Honestly, it's probably going to be faster just to do this. Copy relative path like this. So for now, I'm just revising how the mutation works. Well, query and then mutation. Like the whole concept right now is just to get the mutation. Well, first the data. Okay, so const all data is equal to. It's gonna be this thing here, right? Dot use. What's inside of this thing? Wait, is this a... Oh yeah, I'm getting too many console logs, that's what I'm kind of... I just want to remove this thing. Okay, so now we have access to the object where all the queries are, so we want... Wait, what? Why is this being... Okay, I want to get rid of this console log. I don't want it. Okay, I think this is also from the... Oh, shite. I know what the problem is. The problem is I did not add my query to the Redux store. Because I was wondering why this is not being console logged, right? That's because we don't have it in the store config. So we need to import from... We can just do this, copy relative path. Okay, now we need to add it to our root reducer, which is here. Dot reducer path. We're basically copying what we're doing in Express user. Reducer, and then we need middleware, I think, as well, right? Yep, that's what we need. Middleware, there you go. Okay, so now we should be able to see the console logs happening, right? No? Am I missing something? Oh, there it is, yeah. Okay, so we need get all users query. We need this bad boy here. We need to put it in here. And it's TypeScript, so we want to put it object and then. Okay. So now we should get our data. Yeah, so that is fulfilled. There it is. So there's the data. So now we want to maybe display this data somehow, right? So Let's do like so. All data. Let's do UL. Whoops. And then let's put all data, question mark, because it could be undefined. Then data. Whoops, that map. Whoopsie, element. Let's do any. And then we want to return probably we want a key, which is element probably ID. Yeah, so we're gonna use ID as a key, and we're just gonna JSON stringify it. That's what we're gonna do basically. And then we're going to it just stops script complaining. JSON stringify, just a minute. And then that's it. Okay, so this should show us all the data now. Yeah, so there you go. Now we have it. Okay, so now we're gonna create a mutation. So we're gonna add an element in here. Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to create an input field probably. So const, let's do input state, set input state, react, use state. Probably start like this. Then we want to create an input field. Horizontal line, just for the. I like to separate visually stuff, so otherwise I get confused, you know. So we want to create an input field. Input during type, just a good idea. Value is going to be our input state. This is kind of like standard React stuff. Nothing new in here. On change equals e set input state e target value. Okay. So this is nothing new. And then we probably want to have a button. Let's put a breakpoint and then put a button like this. Because if you don't break, then the button is going to be like in your face, you know. Like literally next to it, you know, so it can get annoying. So button, add post, and then on click is going to be handle click. Let's just do this. And then handle click. Whoopsie. So we need a sync function. The reason for a sync is because the mutation, I think, honestly, let's try without a sync. Well, handle add post maybe will be a better function name because we're adding a post, right? So we definitely want to set input state to nothing as soon as we add the post. Okay, and here we need to create a mutation. Well, let object to add is going to be like this. We're going to have ID, which is going to be all data dot length plus 1, right? Because we want to go. What do we want to go? We want to go. So length is going to be what? 3. So we want ID to be 4, so plus 1. Okay. And then we want name to be whatever we type. So that's going to be our name. Okay, so now in between here, we need to put the post query in here. Oh, okay, so we need to create a mutation, right? So mutation is going to be like so. Whoopsie. So post new user builder mutation, and everything else is exactly the same. So we're gonna be our arg object, which is gonna be any, and then we want to return. So URL is going to be, where are we going to be posting it to? Where is the URL? To post this to dummy post. There you go. Wait, are we getting correct users? Oh, dummy users. Well, hold on a sec. Let me just have a look at this. Are we getting correct response? I just want to find out if we're getting correct response. 1 second. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm mapping through it. Duh. Okay, cool. So this is definitely working then. Okay, so now we just need to create the mutation. Well, mutation is basically post, get, or not get, post, delete, put, patch. That's where you use mutation. For get, you use query. And that's it. So this will be our URL. We probably want it with the /. Then, honestly, this is probably maybe a bad practice. We probably want it to be. Hold on a sec. Let me just have a look. Yeah. So you want this thing to be here. This dash. By default, you do not want to start with a dash. 1 sec. Okay. So then we need method, I think. And then probably body. Yeah, method post, body. Body is going to be argument object. Now, you can also add headers, but I mean, in this case we don't need. Okay. So now we're gonna run into a bit of a problem, because we're gonna be adding. So let's add Paddy. Yeah, so you see, data is being stuck basically. Data is being stuck. But why is the console logging all the time? Oh, it's because the component is re-rendering. Okay. So you see our issue right now is that when we are, oh, whoops, I'm trolling. Hold on a sec. Am I trolling? I'm trolling. Okay, so now we need to put this mutation into our code, right? So okay, so let's try without a sync function first. So we want to create a const post data any equals. Okay, we want this to be coming from here. Okay, so mutation works like a lazy query. So inside of this you have two things. Well, I'll show you. It's like a lazy query. You have the fetch function, which is actually a post function, and then you have the API response. So you see we're gonna have this post data, you see. It's identical to a lazy query where it's uninitiated and then you have all this a little bit less of the, you know, it's loading, it's successful, but in the lazy query you also have the third one, which is the last promise params, I think, which is last promise arguments, which we don't have in this case, right? So we just need the function. We need to run the function and pass the arguments into it. So function is at index 0. Index 0, and then we want to run it, right? And we want to post the object into it, right? And then that's about it. Okay, so now when we add, oops, to Paddy, so you see what's going to be happening is that we added on the server side. We should be able to see it. There it is. Oh, whoops, it says ID null for some reason. I wonder where that is. I think we messed up something somewhere. Oh, yeah. The problem is we forgot that data in here like this. Well, not a big deal. Honestly, not a big deal. It's just that one of our IDs is going to be null. So again, you see the problem is it's not refetching. It's just not refetching. So let's add another one. Let's try Jenny. Again, we will see it on the server side, but not on the... Nothing is happening in here. So the rookie way to do it would be to use the fetch function from here. So we can do something like this. And then every time input state. Oh man, that's gonna be horrendous. No, that's very, very bad. What we can do in here then is every time you click on the handle post, we can just refetch like this. That's kind of the rookie way of doing it. It will work, but yeah, it's complaining. It's because this was null, that's why. This messed up the whole thing. Let me just restart the server real quick. npm run serve. Okay, so now if we refresh, everything should disappear. Oh, it's stuck in the cache. Yeah, we have to restart the front-end server as well. No, actually it's still gonna be stuck. It's still gonna be stuck because it's a persister. No! What are we gonna do with the persister? Okay, I'm gonna have to manually delete it. Oh my god. Yeah, see, it's stuck in here. Which one is the persister in here, I wonder? So, root store, we need to delete root store. Wait. Yeah, we have to delete root store. Do we? Is it? Yeah, it should be root store. But how come I don't see it? Ah, oh my god. I know what the problem is. It's because I swapped to session storage. Yeah. I remember I was experimenting with session storage. That's why I swapped. Because normally it's in local storage. I'm like, what? Where is the root persister? You know. So now this should, technically, this should refresh it automatically, right? Oh, whoopsie. That's a big boo boo. Yeah, because that is probably undefined, right? Yeah. Yeah, there it is now. Okay. So now we fix this. Okay, so now we are back to square one. Let's post, I don't know, pat. So we post. Oh, it's adding. Interesting. Why is it adding? Huh. This is because the query is getting refetched, right? Or is it because I put something into the... Oh, it's because I blacklisted it. Yeah. That's why it's adding it. Yeah. Because that's actually one of the fixes, is to blacklist there. So now it should not really add it anymore. That too. Huh? Still works. Interesting. So why does that happen? That's because I'm re-rendering the component, right? That's the problem. I am re-rendering the component. And it's basically refetching. One sec, let me just think about it. Oh shit, I actually fixed it. I'm trolling hardcore. It's just I got distracted, you know, with all this mumbo jumbo. I forgot that I actually fixed it, right? Holy shit. So basically what's going to be happening is that if we add, let's do pad 3, it's not going to add, right? Yeah. So we can refetch manually. Every time we press a button, we refetch, right? So this is going to work now. Okay, so let's do, what was it, pad 4 maybe? Yeah, so you see now it's working. Well, it's not working because we screwed up with the... Oh my god, I have to restart the router again. Yeah, that's because the ID is now too many times. Okay. Alright, so now we should have... And we're gonna have to delete again. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so now it will work because we have this fetch function here, so it's going to work. Let's do pat. Let's do pat 2. So now it's working. Okay, so the problem with this solution is you constantly have to add this fetch function somewhere, and you have to remember to add it, and sometimes you have to pass it as properties, which means you sometimes have to do property drilling. It's a shit solution. It's just a bad solution, right? So the better way to do it would be to create a system called tagging. I'll show you, 1 second. So I will post this in description below. So this is how you automatically refetch. And then I will post ChatGPT answer in description below as well. So you have access to simple way of doing it, right? Because again, I'm not a big fan of docs. It's just, I don't know what's happening, but I don't know, when people write docs, they just troll too much. Yeah, so you see, and here you can find a way how to do it correctly, right? Somewhere in here. Where are the bloody tags? Holy smokes! Is that the right? Is that the right answer? Oh, that was query versus mutation. Okay, okay. Yeah. So then you define the tag. It's in here, and then you provide the tag during the get request, and then you invalidate the tag during the post request. So what happens is, when you create a get request, this data gets this tag, which is whatever you want it to be. Okay. When you invalidate this tag, this data loses the tag, and then this will refetch everywhere in the app and reapply the tag. So it's kind of like, think about it as invalidates the tag, it removes it, and then there is a built-in listener that says, oh, the tag has been removed, let's refetch. And then it refetches and applies the tag again. And this is how you communicate between post and get that you are planning to refetch it, right? One sec, let me put notes, links to docs in YouTube video. Okay, so now we need to create the tags. The tags will be, I think they're called tag types, right? Tag types, yeah. Tag types. So we call it refetch. I don't know, anything you want. I'll call it my magic tag. Okay. Normally you probably want something meaningful, but I mean, I'm just showing you that it can be anything. So then you have your query, and I think we're applying it in here, right? So this would be a tag provider, I think, right? Provides tag. So provides tag, and then which one? It's this one here. Oh Lord. And then we need to invalidate the tag, which is gonna be in here. What is the magic word? Invalidates tags. There you go. Okay, so now when we add, it should still work, right? What are we on in the server? We're on path 2. What are we on here? We're on path 2. Okay, so now you can see that we have removed the okay, so now we have removed the fetch function from here, and you will see that this data is now being automatically refetched. So you don't need to worry about, did I put the fetch function, did I not put the fetch function? It's just automatic. Path 3. Oops. Boom! Fail. And the reason for that is because the problem in here is because of the bloody persister. Okay, if you have a persister, it's still going to cache your data, even if you have this tag thingy. So I'll show you that the problem is actually the persister, and then I'm going to solve the persister problem. So we're going to remove the persister first. So you will see that it's the persistor that's causing the problem at the moment. So that we know that this code is actually correct. And then we need to put this in here. Okay. And then we only need one middleware. Like so, and then like so. Ta-da! I think that should be it, right? This should disconnect the persistor. Did disconnect persistor or what? Let's see. Yeah, but now it's gonna be telling me that it's gonna be telling me that okay, let's do pad 18. Whoops. Why is it not refetching? Hold on a sec. Now, I noticed in here sometimes you have to stop the front-end server. Sometimes it just trolls, basically. For some reason. Okay, so let me just stop both of the servers, npm run serve. And then let me stop this one as well. Boom. npm start. Probably good idea to delete that persistor thing. Huh. Why is it not working? Hold on a sec, let me just fix this. Oh my god. You see, this is why ChatGPT is just amazing, because spell checking is something that ChatGPT is just amazing at. So basically the problem isn't here, you see. Because I copy and pasted from here. That's the problem. That's why it wasn't working, basically, you see. I was like... So you see, now it should work. I don't know, A1. Still not working. Okay, hold on. Okay, honestly, I have no idea why. It just started working all of a sudden. And the only thing I've done differently was that I put this thing as an object. You see, what I did was I removed this, like this. And then like this. And after that, it just started working. For, like, honestly, no reason whatsoever why it started working. You see, now it's just working. Now this was my previous code, which is... You know what I'm saying? Like... Now, they're not related, so... It's not refetching here, but... Okay, so the learning from here is do not put this as a const or let or whatever. Otherwise, sometimes it bugs. I suspect it could be something to do with this one here. Serialized check false. It could be this. No idea. No, but like honestly, remember that, you know, if you put a let object equals to this and then put it in here, sometimes it bugs. No, again, I don't understand why that is the case, but whatever. Okay, so we were working on bar or foo? We were working on foo. No, on bar. Or on foo. We were working on foo, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, let me just real quick change this. Just want to make sure that everything is working, you know? I had similar issues. Okay, so now if we... Okay, so let's see. It should work, like, I mean, right? It should work. Yeah. Literally nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. No idea why it's not. But anyway, just be aware that, you know, be aware that if you put it as a const, it could potentially bug. So just be aware of this. There's programming for you, right? Just buggy, sometimes buggy. But you can see that, you know, we're just like, it's just automatically being added now. Everything is good. Okay. Okay. So now what do we need to do? Okay. So now once we're going to install a persister, you will see that it's going to stop working. Now honestly, I noticed that sometimes it still works, but I'll still provide solutions in case it does not work. Let me just... Okay, so we are... What are we doing? We need to reinstall the... persister. Oh my god. And do we... Yeah, we need all of those bad boys in here. So now it's going to cache the data, and in theory it should not work anymore. Yeah, you see this happens because it's so buggy. Technically it should not work. Technically, right, but let's see. Maybe if I just reload like this. Still works. Oh. Yeah, so you see the problem is right now. So in the server we have restarted, right? We have restarted, but we got stuck a little bit. Yeah, so you see now we have a problem where we have cached data. We have cached data, and let's say on the server side, we have refreshed it, right? So we know that when we run this, let's get dummy users. So that's the data on the server. But to be honest with you, the problem in here is that in theory, as soon as we type, component gets re-rendered, right? So component is rendering, but data is not being refetched. Now, why is that? That's because there is a cached data. So if we refresh, it's probably gonna stay to this. Yeah, so you see that's the problem. Because data is cached, there is no refetch. Okay? So how do we refetch on load? And the answer to that is, well, okay. The easiest way to do it would be to put a blacklist the API that is responsible for this data. So every time you load, so we need reducer path, we need this one here. Actually, we can just copy and paste this. So you see now on load, the persister is not going to care about this particular API. So we load, it's going to default to yeah, we need to probably clear the cache a little bit. Oh my god, it's stuck again, I think. I think it's just stuck. Okay, so now if we change the data in here, so now it's complete, it's back to default. So if we refresh this, it should go back to default as well, right? Why is that happening? That's because probably there is a still cache data in here, I think, right? That's right. Okay, so if we add, this should not be part of the this should not have cache data in here. So now if we reload, this is in sync with our server. If we npm run serve, so now we should refresh and there should be 3. Oh my god, why is this happening? Why is it caching data? I thought I blacklisted this thing. Yeah, but on load, I'm just thinking like right now on load, it should not use the cache data because there is no cache data to use, so to speak, right? It should just fetch. Literally should just fetch. So this data should not be here because we have blacklisted. The problem right now is that this is not working. Like I don't understand why it's not working. Yeah, so where's this data coming from? Where is this data coming from? Let me just try to figure out this thing for 1 second. Oh my god, I'm getting tired. So I was working. It was the wrong component. That was the problem. Because my problem is that foo and bar, they look the same. So I accidentally commented bar, and I was working foo, which is not blacklisted, so it was working as expected, but I thought it was bar, which is blacklisted, and I thought to myself, why is it serializing? Why is persister still working in bar? But that's because I've been using foo component. I'm just getting tired. That's about it, right? Okay. So now you will see that we are adding, okay, everything is fine. So this data is coming from the server. So you see, we're going to stop the server. And now we're going to refresh, and there's going to be no cache data. It's going to go back to default, which is this 3, right? So, boom, you see? So that's one way of doing it. Since you want this data to be always fresh, you want to blacklist it. Well, first thing, you need to put the tag, so it automatically refreshes, right? So, let me just point this here. So you put the tag, so it automatically refreshes. My magic tag. I just started thinking that maybe it's because I put the tag into the name, you know, because some frameworks, you know, you put a test into it and it thinks it's some kind of a test, it just starts bugging. So in here I thought maybe it's the name of the tag, but it's not. Let me just check it, just to make sure. Whoopsie. Okay, so now it should default to 3, right? Yeah, okay, so the name, you can put tag into the name, it makes no difference. Okay, so that's one way of doing it, right? We can put a blacklist. Oh, thank God that my code is correct, right? It's just that I was trolling. I was just like getting paranoid that maybe in my notes I put some kind of a mistake somewhere, but it's okay. Everything's working. And then finally, yeah, so the second way to fix this thing is well, it's in ChatGTP. Where's the ChatGTP? There's like the second way of doing it, but it's so slow. It's very, very slow. Test minor refetching. What is this? It should be one of the last solutions, right? Yeah, the subscribe one. Okay, so you can copy and paste this part. You just need to import persist store. Everything is pretty much copy and paste. Now this solution, I didn't dig deep into it because it kind of sucks, honestly. It's very, very slow. So we can copy and paste it in here. Okay, so you need to import this from Redux persister. Now this part here is store config. So this part here is this, basically. Like this. Invalidate tag, so whichever tag you want, which was my magic tag. And then this will do it without the blacklist. But honestly, I just looked at it and it looked kind of What? Oh, yeah. I see the problem. So we're using the wrong API in here. We need this one here. It's just complaining that this doesn't exist in the YouTube tag. So you see, it's like it's very slow. It's like, and it's going to load like after a couple of seconds, right? So everything still works nice, but when you refresh the data, so we stop, npm run serve. So this resets the data to the first three, and you'll see that when we try to reload, it's like takes forever. 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000. 5 seconds to reload. It's horrendous. Like this solution is just horrendous. It works, but just don't use it. It's just too slow. You're better off just manually refetching, I suppose. It's just a bad solution. Honestly, it's just it impacts user experience. It just diminishes user experience too much. You're better off having old data than having this 5-second refresh, probably. No guarantees, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's this one is just better, basically. This one is just better. Now there are other ways of doing it in here. Like there's another one which is like manually refresh or whatever. You can check it out. I'll post it in the description below. But this one was the refetch, you see? So we were basically manually refetching. Every time we post, we refetch from get dummy data. So that's one way of doing it. The second way is, this was the slow way, so this is very, very bad, rehydration method. And then here we just used a blacklist, you see. Blacklist, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. That's the way we do it in our project, actually. Okie doke, so that's the whole thing. Holy smokes, 1 hour. Oh my god. Yes, like the worst video ever. But anyway, it's done, so at least I revised it, and you know, I can go back to the video and see where the bottlenecks are, where I make mistakes and stuff like that, right? Okay, take care, bye bye.